super long walk to get back to this point from where we were before. However, I am at the next section that we bypassed. This is the one where there was a lot going on with minerals, so I'm kind of curious what is back here on this one. See some of the veins right there. Wow, there's a thick vein of something there. Well, apparently not a lot is back here with the minerals, since we appear to stop here. Oh, maybe not. There's a raise. And something I always enjoy, an old newspaper. Pennyroyal Pills, Pacific Paper Company. This looks like an old one. Alright, this is interesting. These are advertisements for hotels and boarding, and the Montgomery Temperance Hotel has a rate of $1 to $2 per week. So this is definitely old. Of course, the sections that have the dates, I don't know why, but they're always gone. This talks about Machine Works and Brass Foundry, Occidental and Oriental Steamship Company, for passage to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is written as one word. Honolulu in Australia. There's the Pacific Mail Steamship Company. For New York via Panama. City of Rio de 1888. There is a date, 1888. I assume that's a date. Just another section I thought was interesting. Well, I mean, we know this is old just from the hotel rates for $1 to $2 per week, and I can tell from the print this is very old as well. That's fascinating. I'm still looking this over. I'm looking here, and the Fireman's Fund of California is bragging about having assets of $2,250,000, which that's a joke for an insurance company today. So again, very old. The address, see, you don't even have like a number or anything, it just says the address is the southwest corner of California and Sampson Streets. Really, really interesting. This may be the oldest newspaper I've found out of mine. I was just checking out that newspaper there, and I've now come up to the raise, and I am standing next to this ladder, and I could probably take this ladder up, but it wouldn't do us any good because it stops there, and this just keeps going up vertically. So I can't fly. I do see some wood up there. I can't tell if it's it looks like a platform up there. Wow. I'd love to know what's up there. Be really curious to see. Alright, carrying on to the next section we bypassed. I am now back at this section where the remains of the Levi's are. Sharp bend. I don't know why I've been curious about this section. When it's sort of blocked off like that, it makes me very curious. Of course, I came from that direction, exiting, and the entrance is directly behind me. So if you were to follow this straight from the portal, which is back that way, it would take you this way. So this may be an older section of the mine. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. Comes in and bends almost immediately. I was going to say it looked like ventilation tubing, but it's got that black powdery funk inside, like a wood stove chimney. So I have no idea what that's doing inside of a mine. Just running off this way. And one of those little pocket chambers right there. So I'm not 100% certain what those are for. And this mine, just past a newspaper. Let's see. Well, you can tell just by the way everybody's dressed. This is an older one. But as usual, the section with the date is gone. Alright, fairly sharp bend right here. Interesting winds. Drops down there. It sort of pinches out. There's just a little pocket next to me here. Nothing of note really. Although I can see why they ran down here. Interesting minerals here. Promising looking minerals. Looks like some old miners' graffiti there. Some of it is pretty cryptic for me. Alright, still bending around. Okay. There's some stuff off to the left here and also there. There's also some writing here. I'll take my chances that this doesn't go back very far. Oh, I should have kept going. That looks like it just stops right there, but I'll come back and double check on the way out. Alright, a little bit of ground fall here. This is one of those pipes. You see, that looks a bit different than the one before. I was thinking that looked kind of like the chimney pipe. There is some of that powdery funk inside. Like it was carrying an exhaust or something. That's really strange. I'm puzzled by that. I'm sure somebody more mechanically inclined or a miner can explain that one. Just wanted to show you this timber set here because it's a pretty beefy one. This looks like a promising section here. Wow, there's a lot going on. Alright, we have winds, large winds, dropping down here. Very, very cool. You can see the wheel still in place right there. That would hoist men and equipment out of that winds. We'll look down there in just a second. The adit continues that way. There's a large space here behind me. This would be where the hoist would have been. The hoist would have been back here, or maybe even been a windlass. No, it would have been a hoist. Hoist would have been back here, and the cable would have run up right there to the wheel and would have pulled the men and equipment out. I guess this would have covered the winds, this thing right here. There's a little pocket right here. I'll bet this, yeah, I guarantee that ties into that section we just looked down. Looks just like it. Alright, right in this winds. Looks like it goes down there. And I guess there's another level down there. That's a solid looking ladder. So I will head down there on the way out. I think I could get out of there even if the ladder broke. So I'll check that out on the way out. You see the little trap door right there. Just want to see where that runs to before I head down the winds. It gets real rough here now. They may have stopped at the winds for the primary work, and this could just be kind of exploratory. There's a raise here, which Gets vertical right there, so I cannot get up that. This work kind of, oh, I thought it petered out back here. There's a little hole right there. Huh. This is kind of odd. There's some odd things about this mine. Let me squeeze up here. I just squeezed up from down there. See, I'm in a chamber. Looks almost like a stope chamber. I can see it runs down there and pinches out down there. With a bunch of rock and debris there. Up ahead, you can see they cleared out a chamber here. Not sure why that piece of wood is so dark. Cleared out chamber here. That's old, riding on that old timber. Something carries on that way. Here's another view of this chamber. And oh, look, there's more up there. Look to up there. So let's see where this goes. Okay, this comes down here and it's caved right there, so that's it for this level, or at least this drift on this level. Now let's go head down that winze. Alright, back at the winze. There's a good look of the wheel here, right there. Somebody cut this in half here. I don't know why, because it's a support timber. But for some reason that was cut in half. I shall be heading down the ladder here in just a second. Just want to take a closer look at those rails real quickly. Those are not the strips of the wood, those are actual rails. So that may be a fairly large section down there. We'll see in just a minute. Just as I was about to head down the ladder, I noticed these notches here on the back side of the winze. So that would suggest that there was a windlass here at one time. I'm not sure if they started out with a windlass and then graduated up to the hoist or what, but obviously there was a windlass here at one time. Alright, I am halfway down this winze now, and you can see I lost the rail there. And I've come to another level. You can see it runs off this way, and they cleaned out some material there, and then stops to my right. It's a bit more extensive. You can see the gobbing there, and they ran back this way. Unfortunately, that's on a false floor, which I'm not too keen on, but I will give it a shot because it's not too far to the bottom there. So, here's hoping this false floor holds for just a little bit longer while we check this out over here. Thank you. Okay, may not have been worth it. They just ran back there. And this is a bit more extensive. You can see they ran off a bit in different directions. They probably just threw backfill. I bet they cleared some stuff out of there and then put backfill there. Which may explain why things don't look more extensive outside, because they may have left a lot of backfill in this mine. Just looking down those pockets, you can see there are more over here. Looks like we have a very... Oh man, am I on a false floor everywhere? Looks like that drops beneath me as well, so I could well be on a false floor. Looks like we have a very old bottle here. That's pretty cool. That wicker holder for it just pinches out right there. But man, I am taken with that wicker. That is cool. I've never seen that before in or around a mine. Here's another section where it drops down. Looks like it's filled down there. I don't think I could get anywhere down there anyway. And going this way, it's all filled in as well. So I'll head back and continue down the winds. We have lost our ladder. There is no ladder to get to the bottom of the winds anymore. However, I don't think it matters because the winds stops down there. May have been another level down there at one time, but that is all filled in now. Looking over here, this is also filled in, as you can see. Also, oh, here's a view up, just so you can get that perspective. Way up there is where I was. And as I was saying, it is filled in over here too. Obviously it ran off at one time over here because I can see a tiny little crack right there. So it did run off at one time, but it is no longer accessible to us. So I will climb back out and go back to the last section we bypassed. I'm back at the top of the winds, and I just noticed something interesting here. There used to be writing on this piece of wood here, but somebody has just completely obliterated it. I mean, they really went to a lot of work to erase whatever is written there, so I'm really curious what they wanted to cover up so badly. It doesn't look like that on this side. Curious. Alright, heading back to that next section that we bypassed. Or last section we bypassed, however you want to put it. I just came from back there where the winds is, and I am back at the section started down but then bypassed earlier. Looks like there is some rail back here. So like I said earlier, I think I'm almost, 100% that connects to the room where the winds is. It's just right over there. So that's what that is. And as far as this goes, I'm not sure yet. But it looks like it stops right there. So I should have persisted just a little bit more.